Greetings. Welcome to the Christian Emergency Network Readiness Project Safety Security Officer Introductory Webinar. I would like to personally thank you for your interest in Christian Emergency Network and for your interest in becoming a state-level safety security officer. If you will allow me to introduce myself to you, my name is Kurt Jordan. I am the National Safety Security Director, as well as other roles, the Florida CEN Church Advisor and the Social Media Strategist for Christian Emergency Network. You have been provided a PowerPoint. I will ask you throughout this introductory webinar to follow along, giving you a brief description, narration, and to follow along on each PowerPoint slide. This says the vision. Ready to respond. This video, Hallowed Targets, gives a brief description as to why safety security officers are so imperative when it comes to emergency preparedness for churches. You can see and access the hyperlink to this video, which you may view at your own leisure. Every Christian ready to respond biblically to emergencies, large or small. Christian Emergency Network unites Christian volunteers, community leaders, and emergency professionals in equipping the church to be aware, ready, and there to respond in emergencies, large and small. Back before the 1960s, there was a problem with mutual aid with fire trucks. When there was a fire in California, and they needed assistance from fire departments in Arizona, they would cross the border to assist. However, when they went to hook up their hoses, they wouldn't work. That was because each had the wrong or different connections. To fix that, they have adapters. Now, however, there are standards that allow for trucks to cross borders and share those resources more effectively. That's really the principle behind what I want to share with you today. There are a few things we can do as churches that will bring a standard across our churches that will enable us to work together more effectively. As said before, CEN unites Christian volunteers, community leaders, and emergency professionals in equipping the church to be aware, ready, and there in emergencies of all kinds. Christian Emergency Network unites through networking, providing timely resources, and facilitating incident response. Most Christian first responder groups move in during a crisis and then leave the local area before the recovery is complete. Christian Emergency Network helps the local Christian community to respond to their own crisis earlier and more effectively for longer terms, where emergencies are best managed locally. If you will review the graph, you will see the church in the middle. All of the dots represent a bridge of networking and communication, and how Christian Emergency Network can help to network and bridge government, media, and other organizations with local churches. Let's give a brief description of the Readiness Project. These are the Christian Emergency Network core trainings. Ready Christian, Ready Church, Ready City. All of these are made available on our website at www.christianemergencynetwork.org. These are the three basic trainings which accomplish the mission. Christian Emergency Network recognizes that the church has traditionally been more event-driven versus incident response-driven. Christian Emergency Network helps the church identify key leadership roles to convert current active volunteers into a stealth incident response mechanism, which helps all aspects of the church mission. Christian Emergency Network facilitates a seamless conversion of this dynamic, which speeds up the process and is more effective in incidents through daily practice. We basically structure our curriculum based on zip code. If you look here, the zip code is 85541. Instead of being a national NGO responder to disasters, we train and teach churches to be more centrally located and to handle incidents within their church, their communities, and their cities, all parts of the Readiness Project curriculum. To discuss this, what happens when an incident occurs? It brings situational awareness through information and meetings. The IC, the incident command structure, is selected based upon the incident. The scope of response, how to determine the capacity that each church has to respond to the incident or event. When to activate an emergency team based on your emergency operation procedures protocols. And the stand down, the hot wash or after action report, and lessons learned. Throughout this training, later on, you will walk through when incidents occurs with understanding each is somewhat different, but having all the incident command structures through leadership roles filled, making for a seamless, effective response. This will specifically point out the role of the safety security officer specifically as integral to any Christian emergency response. If you'll look at the safety security role, what is your role in the church? This is a basic structure of the Incident Command System as designated by FEMA and the National Incident Management System, NIMS. If you'll notice, all four core components of the incident command structure are placed here. However, we at Christian Emergency Network have introduced the prayer, care, and share officers, which are missed by many other national and international NGOs that correspond with loving on the victims, loving on the responders, and all those involved. And most importantly, the role of the safety security officer directly right next to the public information officer. Christian Emergency Network state level safety security officers are experienced volunteers with a security background. It may be in law enforcement, military, or emergency management as well. These are all folks who can help the church become aware of security risks and community emergency needs. They can help set up and establish and manage emergency teams within their church or network of churches. They help develop the emergency plans for each church, facility, and structure. They can help to prepare individuals, churches, and city leaders to respond. Again, all correlating with our main curriculum, Ready Christian, Ready Church, Ready City. They also assist in managing these incidents as well. Awareness of security risks comes through multiple sources. Some federal agencies, some local police, fire, EMS, and emergency management organizations, some through Christian Emergency Network vetted Christian sources that are kept very close to the vest. By setting up an emergency team, the 9 roles are able to seamlessly manage any incident and cross over incident command as needed according to plan. The emergency operation procedure of any church, city network, or ministry is focused upon the unique community need, their own capacity, and their own decisions of what they want to respond to. This affords the church the ability to pick and choose without being pressured, and keeps resources within the church, not with others who may want to seize assets. By preparing individuals, as well as the church community as a whole, they are better able to support one another when incidents occur through formalized agreements. It also allows the church to utilize the greatest capacity from the individual up through the usual top-down structures. Because safety security leaders are most trained in incident response, they are ideal for managing incidents in multiple ways. However, with strong backups, they can often release management to others in the emergency team, thus preventing burnout. Getting started. Becoming a CEN, Christian Emergency Network Safety Security Officer. You'll see 4 steps: qualifications, communications, operations, and training. What are the steps to become a CEN Safety Security Officer? First and foremost, Christian Emergency Network takes the Safety Security Officer role vetting process extremely seriously. Once the approval has been made, the candidate will be given further assistance as needed to set up their communications, operations, and training as they become the point of contact for the ready response in their preferred location of service. And as a potential income generator, they may, as safety security officers themselves, often provide advanced security training, which we'll discuss in a moment. Step 1 is the Christian Emergency Network State Security Officer application. Part of that application process involves InfraGard with the FBI membership, which is what we use for our vetting process. The next step is requesting a pastoral letter, one of the pastors of your local church that can attest to your security training of what they know and your Christian background. Security background and referral. Preferred area of service. Ready Christian beginning curriculum, which is a free download through our website. Reading the roles and responsibilities. The approval process takes a minimum of 2 weeks. One of the largest time frames of background vetting is the FBI InfraGard membership. If ever you have a question as to where the FBI InfraGard chapter is in your area, you can contact us at Christian Emergency Network and we'll be able to reach out and provide that information to you. Next, you will submit your basic information for the SSO role, as well as information for us to have on file that is not automated, such as your proof of InfraGard membership. We use this as the vetting mechanism to qualify background. Providing your security background or your knowledge and experience in training allows Christian Emergency Network to make the most of your unique expertise in the security realm. You may want to have your training or services promoted by CEN once you have been approved. You will want to complete the Ready Christian Study series with your family and friends to ensure they are ready first before you help your church, ministry, or community to prepare. This will ensure they are taken care of and releases you in a broader emergency to respond more effectively. Again, Ready Christian is a free download and easy to distribute widely among your friends and neighbors, as well as your church and community. By reading through the CEN Safety Security Officer roles and responsibilities, you may have some questions. Again, the approval process may take approximately a couple weeks to a couple months, realistically. You will hear from me personally, Kurt Jordan, or one of our other representatives from our administrative staff when this is complete, so that I may help you move forward immediately on steps 2, 3, and 4. At this moment, I'm going to pause just for a moment and let you gather your thoughts, write down any notes that you may have. The next step is communications. This is where you can sign up for CEN alerts, advisories, and newsletters. This will also describe to you steps in the processing to be vetted and nominated for the Department of Homeland Security HISN portal, the workshop, which is the Homeland Security Information Network. This will also enable you to be part of the CEN Threat Information Service. This step, as very, very vital, helps you to establish communication with your state and local law enforcement, fire, EMS, emergency management, and if possible, local fusion center. We help you sign up for news services. We help you also sign up for Assist News, one of our main points of information, our resources, as well as providing and setting up an account if you wish to use on LinkedIn, on Nixle, and ASIS, as is the American Society of Industrial Security. We will also walk you through in how to set up a constituent database and a text group. We will discuss security reports monthly, review the Getting Started Ready trainings, and establish a secure Christian Emergency Network email address. When a security officer is vetted and processed and background cleared, they will immediately be given a CEN network email address. We do not send a lot of our information over general email services, AOL, Yahoo, Gmail. This way it keeps our information close to the vest, and we're not distributing that under eyes that don't have an authority to see the information that we're processing. I'll be conducting webinars in the future on this topic, but for now, state security safety officers will be personally introduced to their fusion center by CEN, Mary Marr, our director, or myself, in cooperation with the Department of Homeland Security Intel and Analysis Division, or Infrastructure Protection, which is a connection with your public service agent or intelligence liaison officers. Understanding the Ready Christian, church, and city benefits and training content outlines will help you introduce the resources to those you are leading. The materials are provided in sequence to ensure each basic step is completed before moving on to the next. However, every Christian organization is different, so you may assess each one and determine what resources best fit their needs and encourage them to download those immediately. Again, you are a facilitator and monitoring things as they are accomplished, but the materials are such that every leader can self-manage and self-instruct. Moving on to slide 17. Setup operations. This will help you set up your church city ministry emergency teams. This will also help you to recruit safety and security officers. A link on our website is being created to allow you to just tell and direct the person, just click on that link on the CEN website. This assists in emergency planning, also assists in submitting your state and local security briefings monthly, a link for there as well, and assist in incident management. Once the CEN safety security application has been approved and their communications have been set up, the next step are the operational functions to accomplish the mission. By setting up your own church, ministry, or citywide network emergency team will help you assist others. It starts with you. You'll be recruiting leaders within your church, ministry, or organization who may fill as many of the ICS plus prayer care share roles as possible. In some instances, there may be more than one leader to act as a backup. And in some instances, a leader may serve in more than one role. But this should be only temporary, as a large emergency, as spoken before, could burn your volunteer leaders out very quickly. Once you have your own emergency team, including recruiting more security volunteers as needed, you'll be able to help your group set up their own emergency plans using the materials provided in the Ready curriculum training. The steps are simply laid out there for your ease of use. You'll want to think through how you can use your existing contacts and subject matter expertise to bring churches, Christian media, and organizations together to verify you understand how to set up the emergency teams, how to enact in emergency operation procedures, and you feel comfortable recruiting more security volunteers within the first 6 months. I, again, will be here to help you with any of that is needed. You'll be asked to submit monthly security reports to your state or city safety security officer, or if you are a state security officer, You'll be attending national briefings from this point onward. During each monthly CEN National Security Briefing, I will be asking you to provide your report to others nationwide. In some instances, we will have subject matter experts, federal agencies, or incident-specific briefings where we will include every Christian Emergency Network safety security officer on a conference call to save time. When you are managing a local, state, or national incident that is local CEN founder and president Mary Marr and myself will assist you as needed with information, capacity building, resources, and guidance. Step 4, training. Basic awareness, prevention, policy, and procedures. In this training, you will receive Introduction to Terrorism, recognizing suspicious activity, terrorist planning cycles, preparedness, security policy and procedures, prevention and mitigation, and introduction to physical security, incident recognition, response, and the management, suicide bombers, improvised explosive devices, vehicle-borne devices, exercises, and training. To be considered fully educationally prepared as a CEN security officer should verify the following: completion of training and understanding for each module cited here. Take this correspondent training to complete the modules. Do you have a security-related training, product, or service? Each CEN safety security officer all bring varied and different areas of expertise. Our mission is to equip every Christian to be biblically ready to respond. It takes all of us. You'll want to ensure your safety security officer training, products, or services are promoted online. To do this, you'll need to follow the simple steps of providing content for your CEN resource landing page, which ties your training, product, or service to the CEN mission, and also promotes your specific training, product, or service. Christian Emergency Network will post online or in venues which are involved. The delivery of service of your training, product, or service will be your responsibility. CEN provides this promotional ministry to those who have subject matter expertise and who would like to expand their ability to provide those services to others. If you are interested in becoming a Christian Emergency Network advisor with a corresponding business model, we can refer you to Mike Marshall, CEN Operations, to explain how we can derive income from your CEN ministerial role. At this time, if you have any additional questions, I would advise that you reach out to me, Kurt Jordan, with Christian Emergency Network. My email address is very simple. It is KURT.JORDAN@ChristianEmergencyNetwork.org. I pray God blesses you and your family with safety and provision always. Thank you so very, very much for your valuable time in listening, educating yourself, and considering becoming a part of the Christian Emergency Network. God bless you.